Ay, ay, ay.
I knew you were going to do that.
You knew I was going to do that?
Yes.
Hey, this is Neon. I'm here with Geeky Sparkles. This is Clownfish TV.
Hello.
Hello. And yeah, the Red Power Ranger, Austin St. John, the original Red Power Ranger, has been indicted, arrested for wire fraud. Wow. Okay, so we're gonna talk about this. This has to do with the PPP loans, the Paycheck Protection Program loans, and we'll talk about what that is. But yeah, if you Google his name, all that comes up now are many articles about fraud, which is not good for anybody's career.
No.
Especially when you're someone like Mr. St. John, who does the convention circuit. You know, they usually don't like controversial people on the convention circuit. Anyway, we're going to talk about this. A hat tip to Yamatora1, I believe, who sent this to us. Thank you. I missed it. Wow.
I didn't. I was like, well, dang.
Wow. Okay, before you get into it any further, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. Over 268,000 subs.
Yay.
Thank you. Finally, yeah. Thank you so much for the support. We do talk about pop culture. We talk about the business of pop culture. We haven't talked a whole lot about Power Rangers other than Hasbro splitting from using Super Sentai footage. I think we did a video on that. But yeah, most of the still living original Power Rangers are often on the convention circuit. You know, and it's a pretty healthy living, I guess. I mean, you're one of the original Power Rangers, right? Like, everybody knows the original team, but after that, it's kind of iffy. Like,
see, no, I didn't watch the original ones that much because you did, because you had your little brothers. But
yeah.
I didn't. We watched SPD and Mystic Force with Squid King.
Yeah, so here's the story of Power Rangers. Now, I was getting a little too old to be watching shows like that, or I thought I was too old to be watching shows like that when Power Rangers first came on, but I did watch it with my little brothers. And weirdly enough, they stopped watching it. They got bored, and I kept watching it. It was like a soap opera for me. I was watching it like after school or whatever.
It's like, oh, it's because my brothers.
Yeah, it's because my brothers. And I realized, like, hey, they're not watching it anymore. Oh shit. Okay. Anyway, so then yeah, Squid King. He was into the Disney-fied versions, but SPD was actually pretty good.
Yeah, he watched it because that's what that was out when he was little.
Yeah. I actually liked SPD quite a bit. Anyway, let's talk about this. The original Power Rangers, Austin St. John, defrauding the government, apparently. Now, for those of you who aren't aware of what the Paycheck Protection Program is or was, the PP loans.
The PP loans.
The PP loans. So during the pandemic, the government decided to give out free money. But there was a catch. The catch was you had to get the loan forgiven. Or to take the loan in the first place, you had to prove that you were using it for legitimate business purposes.
Right.
Now, what's going to be interesting, and we're going to talk about this, is there's a whole lot of fraud going on with these loans. And I do know for a fact that a lot of comic book publishers, a lot of indie comic book publishers, game publishers, took PPP loans.
Right. Now, if you can prove that you used it, you're not, in the ways it was intended.
Right.
That you're not in trouble. But
yeah, it was basically to cover salaries, to cover rent. You can't just take it just to be like, hey, I want to go buy a Ferrari. And people were doing that. They were taking
they were
hundreds of thousands of dollars and they're going out and buying Ferraris.
Because what was going on was a lot of businesses were closed. The money kept the business, that they could continue with everything reopened or pay people while it was shut down. It was meant to help people stay in business. Yeah,
so here we go. Red Power Ranger actor Austin St. John charged in wire fraud conspiracy indictment. Austin St. John, who suited up as Red Power Ranger, has been arrested for wire fraud conspiracy, according to the Department of Justice.
Oh, crap. Right to the Department of Justice.
The Wednesday press release. Oh, shit. He got a lot of money. In a Wednesday press release, St. John, whose legal name is Jason Lawrence Geiger, Jason being the Power Ranger he played too, was among 18 named in an indictment that accuses the defendants of defrauding the Small Business Association's Paycheck Protection Program, obtaining at least $3.5 million in fraudulent funding.
Among 18 people.
Among 18 people. So I don't think he himself, but it could have been... He could have been like, hey, I can't do conventions because all the conventions are closed, so I want some PP money.
They said...
Well, side note, somebody told me one time he did pornos too. So
I don't know.
So maybe he's getting PP money that way too. I don't know. I'd have to look into that. The indictment states that 2 other defendants, Michael Hill and Andrew Moran, were ringleaders in corralling 16 others to apply for the SBA loans with falsified documents and collected the money for their own personal purchases. Did he buy like a Megazord or something?
I doubt it for that much money. On the applications, the defendants are alleged to have misrepresented material information, such as the true nature of their business, the number of employees, and the amount of payroll.
Correct. Yeah. The Paycheck Protection Program was designed to help struggling small businesses during the pandemic by giving loans to business owners in need as part of the CARES Act passed in 2020. And it did help a lot of businesses, I'll be honest. And then they allowed people to have those loans forgiven. Even then, like the interest rate, I think it was like 1% or something. It's very low.
Yeah.
And it was meant to be a bridge loan. Like until we can reopen, hopefully this will tide you guys over for 6 months or whatever. But people were abusing it. And we'll talk about the abuse of it after this. The defendants obtained 16 PP loans and could PPP loans and could face up to 20 years in federal prison each if convicted.
That's not good.
I don't think he'll be doing conventions anytime soon if that is the case.
Well, speaking of convention, he was supposed to be at Des Moines and now in Iowa, and they are saying that he's not going to be attending due to unforeseen personal obligations.
You don't say.
Is that prison? I don't know.
You don't say. The former Power Ranger was expected, yeah. He apologizes, and he sends his love to all those who are looking forward to meeting him. Austin plans to be here to meet all his fans in 2023.
Yeah, I'm sure he's planning on that.
He's planning on it. I don't know if that's actually going to happen. That's crazy. Yeah, so I mean, look, a lot of people defrauding the government. This article was from like a month or so ago. NBC News, the biggest fraud in a generation, the looting of the COVID relief plan known as PPP. And they were talking about how much money was effectively stolen.
Well, I knew about the cars because I knew there's some people in Florida, I think it was Florida and California, that went out and bought cars with it and things like that, which they weren't supposed to do. So you're not allowed to do that. You're only allowed to fleece money if you are like in government.
Yeah,
then whatever reason you can get away with it, but you know.
Well, maybe Austin St. John needs to run for office. I would vote for the Red Power Ranger.
Then you know it'd all be forgiven.
They'd be forgiven.
Then you can just rip off the public every day. You know, vote for things that your own personal interest constantly.
So yeah, they talked about many participated in what prosecutors are calling the largest fraud in American history. There's going to be a documentary about this.
100%.
A theft of hundreds of billions of dollars in taxpayer money intended to help those harmed by the pandemic. They couldn't resist purchasing luxury automobiles, mansions, private jets.
How much money did they effing get?
$80 billion.
No, I mean per person. I mean, I can't. They weren't giving a shit ton of money out.
I think if I remember correctly, it was like a couple of months revenue or something like that. You had to prove what your revenue was. So if you had a company that was making, millions of dollars a year, you could be getting it. I don't know what the maximum amount was, but
I'm just like, damn. Private jet flight. Okay, private jet flights, but still, I'm like, mansions.
I happened to do a little digging, and I'm not going to name names or whatever, but there are some comic book publishers that were taking hundreds of thousands of dollars in PPP loans, and I don't know. I mean, that's probably their operating expenses.
Here's the kicker about that, though. A lot of the publishers, a lot of people could work from home for that, and they were still putting books out.
Yeah, but Diamond kind of, yeah.
Well, Diamond I could see, but like...
people were taking the money, right? They were taking the money. And so I think we're going to see more of this come out, that in the years to come, there are a lot of companies out there that took money that really didn't need the money. But, we have individuals taking hundreds of thousands of dollars. There's a guy showing his Ferrari off.
Yeah, I remember that.
Remember
and they got busted for that one.
Yeah.
That was early on.
So, yeah, they said, right here. Here we go. Prosecutor said this guy of Irvine used money from the Paycheck Protection Program to buy 3 cars that cost 6 figures each, including this 2011 Ferrari. Well, it's a 2011 Ferrari. It's not like you went out and bought it's a used car.
But they're 6 figures each.
I know. Even if the highest estimates are inflated, the total fraud on all COVID relief funds amount to a mind-boggling sum of taxpayer money that could rival the $579 billion in federal funds included in Biden's massive 10-year infrastructure spending plan. Nothing like this has ever happened before, said Matthew Schneider, a former U.S. attorney from Michigan.
You can sum everything up with 2020 till now. Is nothing like this.
Yeah, so there's absolutely going to be like an HBO documentary on this. PP money.
Wait, would you stop with the PP money? Most of the losses are considered unrecoverable, but there is still a chance to staunch the bleeding because federal officials say $600 billion is still waiting to go out the door. Why would there still be money going out the door? When was this from?
This is just a month ago. So apparently people applied there, but I know they had multiple rounds. I don't know how many. They had like a 2020 and then they had like 6 months later because they kept, hitting people up like, hey, you want some more PP money? Mm-hmm. We got your PP money right here. So I don't know how many rounds you're allowed to take.
If you say PP money one more time, I'm not going to promise your PP isn't going to face consequences.
I don't want that.
It's not as funny as you think. Anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, the SBA in sending that money out basically said people apply and sign and tell us that you're really entitled to the money. And of course, for fraudsters, that's an invitation. What didn't happen was even minimal checks to make sure the money was getting to the right people.
Yeah, it seems like they didn't.
Yeah, and I've heard a lot of stories about this, and there are businesses I know of that I think they were operating just fine. They weren't really taking a hit, that were taking hundreds of thousands of dollars, but as long as they're playing by the rules. But apparently the Red Power Ranger is not playing by the rules.
No, they're making up like employees and different things like that. So if you did that, you might be in trouble.
Anyway, we're going to wrap this up. Mm-hmm. Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. We'll talk later.
Bye.
Now he's just tasty, delicious, rotten flesh meat, which I can consume. Don't read into it too much.
Just like our museum, the cafe's open and Brewster is eager to serve. I don't think this was in the show. Run. Oh, you got splatted. Oh, she was begging and you kicked her in the face.
I don't care.
Hey guys, Squid King here, and today we're in a...
Not girl boss at all. She is not a material girl.
She is not. Oh, it's Christmas time here in your mom. Nobody wants to join your mom.
What?
Like I can't even cook kid cuisine right. I would last about 2 minutes with Gordon Ramsay.
What? Where is he?
He's hiding. He's hiding from you.
He better.
Oh my God, you got the axe.
Walker, does this look like Steven Universe? Let me punch him. Well, I'm just here for the wax. Right where you belong.
Get in the dirt.
Well, that was a combination of events I probably shouldn't have put together. Anyways, let's open this bottle too.
Chica Pinata. Is that official?
Oh, no.
There's a bootleg.
Hello. I'm sorry.
Hey guys, it's Diamond Tool.
Let's make a farm.
Like and subscribe and buy my merch.
I mean, while you're here, you guys should really like and subscribe and buy our merch, all of which we have.
That is true. You can't run them carrying trash. You can get away with one F-bomb per PG-13 movie.
I wish I'd known that sooner.
Yeah. All right, so we're going to wrap this effer up.
Yes.